Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Dolores, and in today's video I want to talk about ways to make your life happier. This video is totally inspired by a German podcast that is called Beste Freundinnen, and it's a podcast that I've been loving at this point for, I would say, 3 years. I really love their content. They're super funny and interesting to listen to. One of them is a psychologist, and in one of their recent episodes they talked about ways to make one's life happier. And yeah, I was totally inspired to make my own video version of this. And if you like this type of content and if you want to see my face more here on my channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean a lot to me. And also give this video a thumbs up if it's of any value for you. According to research, the more you try to be happy, the unhappier you become. When we try to be happy, we have certain expectations. And when these expectations are not met, we are disappointed. So what's the solution? Should we lower our expectations, or should we live with a pessimistic attitude? And how would we get things done if we are always pessimistic? We would think that anything we do is not worth it and the outcome will be bad anyway, so this cannot be the solution. So it's probably best to adopt a realistic expectation. William A. Owen said that the best predictor for future behavior is past behavior. And you can adopt this to every area of your life to keep your expectations realistic. So let's say you have a family gathering, you can expect that the gathering will be more or less the same as the last gathering with your family. When I was younger, I always looked forward to New Year's Eve, for example, with great expectations. I always wanted it to be the greatest and most exciting party of the year. And guess what? It almost never was. Almost always I was at least a little bit disappointed. When I got older, I learned that New Year's Eve is just an evening like any other of the year. And when I attend a party or I organize a party myself with my friends, I can expect it to be a night like every other night with my friends. And I'm no longer disappointed. In fact, I am much happier when we just spend a nice evening together than I was in my 20s. Because right now, my expectations are very realistic of New Year's Eve. Another way to bring more happiness into your life is to reduce the availability of things. Because the faster something is available, the smaller is the joy you will get from it. Have you ever found that when you see something, let's say on YouTube, a product that is very hyped up and it is not available, that you want it even more? That is because if it's not available, we have to work harder for it. We have to do more research, maybe we have to pay more to get it to us, and so on. Maybe you've also noticed that things that got you really excited in the past suddenly became normal the more you did them. When we have always easy access to something, it just loses its sparkle. And it's then so easy to tap into the trap of endless consumption without ever finding true happiness. Imagine the following. If you look forward to something and you put a lot of energy and love into it, you fill up like an energetic battery, a positive energy battery, so to speak. And when you finally get your product, you receive all this positive energy from the battery back. A good example of this is the joy that we feel when we climb a mountain, for example, and we are on top of it and enjoy the beautiful view. And we enjoy it even more because we know we worked hard for it. Another great way to bring more happiness into your days is to take life not too seriously. And this basically means to bring more lightness and more joy in your daily life. Make sure that you laugh often and that you be playful, that you try out new and fun things. Kids can be a fantastic role model here. Just observe them and you will find out that they try out a lot of different things without any concerns. And yeah, if they fall, they stand up again, and they are very curious and they go after everything they are curious about. So this is something that we as adults lose over time, unfortunately, and it is very beneficial if we adopt this childish mindset sometimes and just go after the things that we find interesting and enjoy ourselves. The last tip for more happiness they discussed in the podcast is to reduce media consumption. Now listen to this. studies have found that as little as 2 minutes of media consumption per day can make you unhappy. 2 minutes. Our brains are naturally built to catastrophize because that was evolutionary beneficial. It helped us to survive as a human species. So when we consume news, which is mostly negative, we have a very strong reaction and our brain basically goes into disaster mode. Does this mean that you should no longer inform yourself about world events? Of course not, but just be conscious with your media consumption and be aware what happens to your brain. And this also applies to social media, of course. Here too, various studies have shown that regular social media consumption can make you significantly more unhappy. The big problem here is that we compare ourselves to only a certain aspect of another person, and so we don't see the entire picture as we see it on ourselves, and therefore we feel bad. What we see on social media is only a tiny slice of a very complex, very chaotic, and maybe even tragic life. Basically, we are all addicted to our phones, and it can be very hard to reduce media consumption because we are so used to it, and it is always within our reach. We always see it, or we know it's directly there in our bags or in our pocket. So it would be very beneficial to put your phone away, maybe in a different room or in a drawer. And if you go out to your next adventure or to your next event, just leave your phone at home. So that was it for today. Please let me know if you have any more tips for living a happier life, and let me know what you think about this video, if you found my tips helpful. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye!